review of the new Silverstein album, Antibloom. This album is their 12th album. It has 8 tracks, but it's fairly short. It's only like 22 minutes in total. Going into this, I've heard every Silverstein album there was before. Pretty big fan of theirs. I do like their earlier music a little bit more than their more recent music, but I was very interested to hear this. And going into this, I feel like this album is a good reflection of the band. It starts off, I would say, side A, I like more than side B if they still had side A and side B like in vinyls. The first few songs to me sounded more like old school Silverstein. And then as you got later in it, there's the more modern sound that they have, which I would define as like adding electronic stuff. And there's a lot more like talk, almost like preachy vocals, the way they're delivered a little bit. Think of that band at Silent Planet. I saw Silent Planet open for Silverstein, and I feel like ever since then, every album has had some song on it that sounds like Silent Planet from them. The songs aren't bad. It's just that I like the first few songs more. It's recorded good. It sounds good. There are a few songs that were a little surprising or different I wasn't expecting. But overall, if you've listened to Silverstein, if you like their music, you're going to find multiple songs on this that you gravitate towards and you like. If you like all of Silverstein's stuff, you'll like the whole thing. If you like their earlier stuff more, you'll like the first few songs probably more. If you like the later stuff more, you'll probably like the later songs better. So going through each one, the first 2 tracks, Mercy, Mercy, and Don't Let Me Get Too Low. Again, very Silverstein, old school, faster, more aggressive sounding Silverstein. I did a review of Don't Let Me Get Too Low on this channel already. I'll put a link for that in the description. The third track, Confession. This is more of a ballad style song. It has rock elements. It's definitely a rock song, but there's like keyboard in it. There's keyboard in a way that you typically don't hear in a lot of Silverstein songs. Some of their newer music has electronic stuff, but it's more like samples and pads. This is sounds like an actual keyboard being played in this song. The 4th song is called A Little Fight, and it was kind of strange. It was really short, but it was really clean and almost like an indie kind of rock pop song. They did an album called Short Songs, and they were all like short punk rock songs. This song was like a little bit longer than a minute, but it definitely isn't like punk rocky at all. The 5th song is Skin and Bones. This is a single that I didn't listen to until the album came out. It's definitely more of like the middle, heavier mixed with the newer Silverstein. It starts to do stuff that I'm not used to them hearing. They do a lot of electronic stuff, as I said, in their newer music. And this doesn't have that, but this has like a very Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machine octave guitar thing. I mean, it's cool. It's just not the Silverstein sound. They kind of had a unique sound, and I don't really remember hearing them do a lot of things like that. There is the preach, talking, Silent Planet stuff again in this song. But I will say the coolest part of any of the songs, I feel like, is in this song at the end. There's this guitar pull-off riff that is really cool. So kind of on the fence with Skin and Bones. Track 6 is I Will Destroy This. It's a really cool, heavy intro to start. Like, I like how it goes. But then the electronic stuff that they do, that's the more modern Silverstein, I guess, comes in. And I'm just not a fan of that electronic stuff. They didn't do it when they were like the first few albums, really. They had violins and keyboards here and there and other stuff, but they just do this electronic stuff in these newer albums. I'm just not a fan of it, to be honest. There's like a very like Muse, U2 kind of style drum, which is cool. But generally, I wasn't a fan of this song, to be honest. Stress, number 7. It's more of a hardcore kind of punk song, but then there's like rap, kind of hip hop elements to it. There's parts of it that sound like Take a Look Around, the Limp Bizkit song. It's a unique song. It's not, I say the whole thing is a reflection on Silverstein. This has Silverstein sounds, but this is kind of a strange song. It reminds me of the band Ghost. They had a song called 20s on one of their, I think, second to last album that was just kind of a off-the-wall song, and this is kind of that to me. Track 8 is Cherry Coke. This is kind of a ballady song as well, but this is more like acoustic rock ballad. It's called like something Oaks, like California Oaks or Sherman Oaks or Sherwood Oaks, or I don't know what the hell it's called, but the guy from Silverstein, Shane, he does something on his own that's acoustic. And this sounds like it would be something that he would do in that setting. The whole band comes in, plays like a rock song, but this sounds like it was an acoustic song that was written acoustically, and then they, wrote it with the band. So overall, I mean, I like the album. It's cool. It's not my favorite Silverstein album for sure. I don't think it's my least favorite either, but it's definitely feels like the first half is the old stuff. The latter half is newer stuff. They do some stuff that's a little bit different and experimental for them, I guess, but it definitely all has the Silverstein sound.